Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today in the second lecture of my introductory series of G Suite or workspace applications. Today we'll be talking about Google Sheets, one of my favorite Google application. The usability and scope of Google Sheets is tremendous, and in the right way they can be configured to automate a lot of processes and businesses, and also reduce a lot of cost for operations. If you're someone with a job or a business and want to automate your processes, so you might want to watch all my videos in Sheets series to understand how Sheets can help automating the processes at your business or workplace. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So here you can see the dashboard of uh, Google Sheet. There are already templates given in case you want to create a standard template. There's also a option to create a blank spreadsheet. So what you see here is called a spreadsheet. So this is called a spreadsheet, and the sheet that you see here, an individual sheet, is called a single subsheet, right? And you can add as many sheets as you want in one workbook. If you are aware of Excel, then using sheets should not be a lot of problem. But if you're someone for the first time and you want to understand what sheets are, then you've come to the right place, right? So I'll give you a small introduction about sheets, how we use them, what are the different options that are there. And if you want to learn more about sheets, you can go into my uh, spreadsheet series. I'm also giving a link at the top of this video. You can go to that series and watch all my videos to understand what are the capabilities and full functionalities that we can use with Google Sheets, right? So as you can see here, this is a complete workbook, and workbook it consists of subsheets or sheets, and each sheet has cells, right? So you denominate each cell with the reference that is given by column numbers and row numbers. So if you see this cell that is highlighted, right, this cell is A2, right? It is in A column and second row, and there are around 1000 rows and 26 columns in a usual sheet. So what you see here is individual cells, right? And all these cells can make up to, define a set of data in terms of a table. Okay, so let me just let's say there is a table with name, email, ID, and phone number. So if you want to bucket a data, if you want to, show a data in a table format, you use this Google Sheet, right? So this is a table right now, a table that has 2 rows and 3 columns if you exclude the header. So it's a very useful tool to show you the data very structured, properly divided, and helps you visualize the data. Let me show you how we use this, okay? I will show you with the settings and basic functionalities. Okay, as I've told you, this is called a cell, okay, and these are called the columns. This is one column which is named B. This is one column which is named C. This whole thing is a row again, which it is numbered as you can see. Okay, and if I select this will be B3. So this is going to be B3, right? And this is called the formula box. There are a lot of formulas that help you in doing different sorts of functions that can give you a data in and represent that data in the way you want. There are different settings here. You can share this. So one of the best things about Google Sheets is there can be a lot of editors. There can be a lot of users on a same sheet at the same point. It is one of the advantages Sheets has over Excel. And because right now Excel has also become online, but most of the people use it for offline purpose. And if one is editing, that same file cannot be edited at the same time by a different person at a different location. But all of the Google applications are on cloud, so it can be accessed from anywhere, at any time, at any system, right? If you have the proper permissions, you can access it, and you can share it with others, and it will help everybody be on the same page when coming to, when coming to the data. Okay, so as you can see, the first thing I can do is share. I can share this, so I can share this file with somebody, and I can share this with whomever I want. I can also give a link, okay, and I can change the settings, anyone with the link can be a viewer or editor or commenter. I can change the settings, and once I give you the link, you can also view the sheet, right? Then, you can open a new file from here. You can open different, files that can be done here. You can also create a new file. You can import a new file, and you can make a copy of the exact file, right? And we have these options again: email, download. Download will be in an Excel format or a PDF format. And then we have, trash. I can delete it. Publish to the web. So when I click on publish to the web, I can publish it as a web page. I will tell you all of these in my coming videos. We'll be learning from basics of Sheets to advance and creating web apps using Sheets and everything. So then comes spreadsheet settings. Here you can see the locality of the sheet, right, and the time zone. And then there's calculation. There's a recalculation setting. I'll tell you what recalculation and iterative calculations are in my coming videos. So that's it with the file. Then let's go to edit. There's a lot of edit options that we can do with Sheet. There's undo, cut. These are all, basic functionalities. There's a find and replace. So let's say there is huge data, okay, and there are, let's say, 1,000 rows and 20 columns, and you cannot check each and every cell in such cases, because 20 columns and 1,000 rows becomes 20,000 cells, and you cannot keep searching for each cell, right? If you want to find a cell with certain details, okay, let's say there is cell which has G Suite wizard in it, and you want to find it, you cannot go through one by one. So in that case, you can go to edit and click on find. So there is two options. You can either just find it, or you can replace whatever you found. If I click on find, it will select where G Suite is. Okay. Even if the cursor is somewhere else, it will go to G Suite. And if I, let's say, replace it with my name, right? So if I click on replace, only this cell is going to get replaced. If I click on replace all the cells with the name G Suite will get replaced, and in all the sheets. Right now there's only one sheet, but let's say there are a couple of other sheets where G Suite is a name present in a cell. If you click on replace all, and if all sheets has been selected, it will change the G Suite to my name in all sheets and all cells. Okay, right now you can see that it has changed, right? And there is also a quicker way to find, just find, not replace. If you click on Control F, there's a pop-up that's coming on your right hand side. Then you can just, find whatever you're searching by clicking here. This is way more quicker if you just want to find it. This is way more quicker. As you can see, when I clicked on XYZ, this got highlighted. That means it found that element over here. Then we have delete rows and delete columns. So if you want to delete a column, instead of going to edit, you can just click on that column and delete it. When you right click on it, you see most of the used settings. So delete column, and it deletes the column. And if I want to delete a row, I just select that row, and I will say delete row, or I can add a row or an insert a row. Then coming to view, freeze. So what freeze does is it freezes a certain amount of rows on the top or onto the left. Okay, let's say I freeze till name. Okay, so freeze option can be, accessed from directly from here. There's a line, there's a thick line here. You just pull that till whichever row you want and it freezes till that row. So now no matter what, these rows do not move. So if I scroll down, as you can see, the numbers are going from 3 and so on, but 1 and 2 are always being there, right? And I can also freeze columns. Okay, so if I go to my right, you can see the columns are going, but A is always fixed. So that is what is meant by freeze. You can also do it from here up to current row, 1 rows, 2 rows. So there is no functionality to freeze only 1 row, right? A selected row. If you want to freeze, you have to freeze all the rows above it as well. So next we have grid lines. Grid lines are the ones that are separating each cell. You can see that there are lines here, right? So when you uncheck grid lines, all the lines they just disappear. And if you don't want to see the formula bar, you can uncheck the formula bar as well. Then there's a zoom option. If you want to zoom the sheet more, you can use this option. Right now, let it be at 100. Okay, then we have insert, where you can insert a row or column and shift cells and up and down. There's a chart option, which will help an individual visualize the data that he has, right? There is an insert image in cells, insert image over cells. When I insert image over cells, there's an image that comes over here. I can upload, or let's just do a Google search, right? Okay, I select this and I click on insert, and it will take the reference as my cursor and it inserts the image that you've put. Then there's a drawing that we can do and it will be inserted as an image. Then there's a form, we can attach a form. I'll be showing you that as well in my coming videos. Then there are functions that we can use. Function comes under formulas. We can insert a hyperlink as well. Okay, let's say .com. Okay, and it comes like this. And then there's a checkbox. I can include a checkbox. Okay, let's say there are certain tasks that need to be completed. Okay, right, I can insert a checkbox. I can copy paste the checkbox, and when I just click on checkbox, it gets checked, and there's a comment. Okay, so I can comment something over a cell without changing the data inside the cell. Okay, let's say this is not done, right? Somebody audits the work and says, okay, this is not done. And when a manager sees this, and when he hovers over it, he will see the comment that was put over it. Okay, he can resolve the comment stating that, okay, I've seen it and thank you for commenting. Or I can also, let's say, I'll just comment it again. In this case, I can also assign it to somebody. Okay, I'll say that, okay, G Suite Wizard, the task is incomplete, and assign. So if you're putting someone else, it'll come as, okay, assigned to that particular person, and they'll be getting a mail stating that, okay, this task has been assigned to you. Okay, once you click on the check mark, and it gets resolved. Then we have note. It's similar to comment. So I cannot give it to anybody. I cannot assign it to anyone. Then I can also insert a new sheet. So when I click on new sheet, there's a new sheet that gets created. If I want to rename it, I'll just double click on it and it gets highlighted, and I can rename it. And see over here, it's getting saved. Any changes, after any change that you make, it automatically gets saved to the drive. You will need internet connection for that to access Google spreadsheet. Whenever you're making any changes in the spreadsheet, even if you're changing one letter in a cell, it will again save the whole workbook. There are again formatting options that are present in this tab. You can also change the format from here. Number, and there are different options that are given inside numbers. and we can change it. Let's say there is, I want to reference this as $50, right? Then I can either use the currency over here. There are a few shortcuts given, but let's go to format, and then I can see a currency over here. I see that it's with $50 symbol right now. I can also give new formats. I can go to more formats, more currencies, and I'll see the different currencies that are there. Okay, so there's an Indian rupee over here. If I click on it and I apply it, this changes to 50 rupees. Okay, there are different formats that you can play around with. This time, date. Time is given under month, day, and year, right? So let's say I change, let's say I put 28/05/2020. Okay, so let's see this format. If I say date and time for this, it does not do anything because it is not recognizing this as a date. If it is recognizing as a number, it will come to the left side of the cell like this. If it is coming on the right side, then it is recognizing this as a text and not as a number, right? If I just put this as month, day, and year format, you see that it is coming to the right side of the cell, which means now this is getting recognized as a number. Okay, then in this case, if I just say I want date and time, as I've not mentioned time, it is coming as 0000. Then we have just date, just time. You can use all of that. Then there's bold, italic, usual document formats. So then there is font size, align. So align is if you want to align it to the left or center or right. Let's say I want to align it to the center. And then there's an align top, middle, bottom. I'll show you what that is. Let's say this is the cell. I have expanded the dimension of that cell, and I go to align and I want it in the middle. As you can see, this has come to the middle of the cell, whereas it was in the bottom before. I just clicked undo, and now it's at the center. Then we have text wrapping, text rotation. I'll show you what text wrapping is. Let's say there is data in a cell that will exceed the dimensions of the cell that was given. Okay, right now it is in overflow, so the data is overflowing to the adjacent cell. If I click on clip, what it does is it will clip the data that is it's showing, right? The data is still there, but we will be only seen till the length of the cell. If I increase the length of the cell, you see that the data is coming. And then there is wrap option. What wrap does is it will put it in the you will be able to see it in the sheet, uh, and but it will not be able to change the dimension. So what it does is it will come into the next line. Here is a quick setting that I can use if I just want to change it. Then we have text rotation. I can rotate the text. I can rotate it down like this, or I can rotate it by an angle. Let's say I want to do it by 15 degrees angle. I can do that. Then there's conditional formatting. What conditional formatting does is it will highlight the cells which has a property that you're looking for. Okay, so let me just select a range. I will select this range, click on OK. Okay, and the format rules, I can choose from a different set of values that were given. I can also write a custom formula. Right now, let's not write a formula. Let's say that text is exactly, okay, and I'll say that text is exactly equal to hello. Okay, and I can change the color that it has to be formatted with. I can put it bold. I can change the setting of this color. Okay, done. Now I will show you. I'm just putting random things over here. I'll put hey, hello, hi, how hello. So wherever you see hello is coming, it is coming with the color and formatting that we've put. I will change this so that it looks a little, yes. Okay, so you can see that it's getting formatted. Wherever you see hello, it will automatically change so that you can understand. Uh, okay, these are the things that we can directly focus on instead of going through each and every word, right? And there is another option of color scale, which will be for showing the intensity, right? So let me just show you in this. I'll put 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, -10. So as you can see, it automatically changes the number it will check the numbers that are there in the given range, and it will automatically assign a shade to it. And this is conditional formatting. Okay, now we have seen format. Then there is data. Uh, so this is one of the most important menu that is there in the sheet. It has a lot of functionalities that are present. So I can select, let's say first thing is sorting a sheet. Let's say this is the range I want to sort it, and I want to sort this range by A to Z, sorted that data in the ascending order. If I say that sort sheet by column H, all right, so you can see all of this has changed. So it will change the rows according to this column. Okay. Then we can create a filter. Filter is one of the very important functionalities that is there in Google Sheets, right? Let's say there is a data. So I have some random data over here, right? And as you can see, this is the conditional formatting that we already had, and it has applied for this data as well. So how filter works is when I go to create a filter, it comes with a funnel. So what this funnel does is it will filter out the data that you want with the parameter that you've asked. Okay, let's go. Let me click over here. I have different options again. I can sort it. I can sort by color, and I can filter by color. I can filter by condition. I can filter by values. So it has three unique values: card, net banking, and UPI. So here, if you see, there's card, UPI, 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 card, net banking. So if you see, it will only come with the unique values that are there. Okay, and I want to see which are the payments of net banking. Okay, so I see that, okay, these are the payments that have come with net banking, and it will just hide the other data. As you can see, the number of the row numbers have not changed. The other numbers have just been hid. Okay, so that is how a filter works. I can again do it with card, and there's a quick setting over here. Instead of going to the menu bar, I can just click on this and it gets created or removed. So if I click on filter again, and now I can filter with color, right? There's white, there's green. I can filter with the green color. Okay, so I will also show you one more thing. Wait, let me just delete this. And when I click on filter right now, it will only take the ta table from first to sixth row and not the remaining rows, because you see there's a empty row over here, and when there's an empty row, the sheet will recognize as uh, a discontinuation in the table, and it will think that, okay, the table has already ended. So it will only take for the table that the cursor is already in. Okay, as the cursor is in this set of data, when I click on filter, it only filters the data till this row. Because there's a blank row, it will not check it will not assume that this data is related to this data. Okay, when I again click on a filter here, you see that this filter is applied only till A to D, and from 8 to 13 and not above. Why this is not getting filtered is as the same reason. If there is a row, the rows below it does not get filtered. If there's an empty column, the columns after empty column does not are not considered for the filter, right? So that is how it works. Then there are filter views. We can create different filter view for different people. If let's say there are more than 10 people using this filter, and if I create a filter, everybody will be able to see that filter. They might not be able to access the remaining data just because I'm using it. So what I can do is I can create a new filter which will be only for me, right? And they will be seeing the data as it is, but for me it will come as this filter whatever I have chosen. Okay. Then we have slicer. Slicer is like a filtration or a filter module. I'll come to slicer in the coming videos. So what data validation does is it will let a certain type of data come into that cell. Okay. Let's say there is, I'll just show you. Okay, then let's say there are different greetings, right? So I will have an option to show it as a drop down in the list in the cell. Okay. If there is a invalid data, I can either show a warning or reject input. All right. And then there is show validation help text. So let me just show you with the default setting. So you can see that there's a drop down that is created. I can choose from these given options. Okay. And let's say if I put something else over here. Okay. Hey, which is not an option. And when I click on enter, it comes with error notes stating that invalid. Now, if I say that, I'll just go to data validation again. If I say input reject, right, and let me delete this and let me put a different value. So you can see that there's a error popping up. It is not even letting me. Previously, it was just showing me an error, but right now it is not even letting me put that input. Okay, and if you want, you can also put date validation help text. So then we have a pivot table named ranges, protected sheets. I will be showing you in my upcoming videos because they are a very huge topics and cannot be covered in a single video. Then we have suggestions, cleanup suggestions. If the data is not in a proper format or sheet checks within itself if the data is in proper format or if there's some unwanted spaces or cleaning of data is necessary, it will show us the suggestions that are there. Then there's a column stat. uh, so what this does is it will create a default chat. It will show you what are the different type of data that is present or what is the trend or anything it will show you, right? Then we have split text to columns. This will be shown in the upcoming videos. Remove duplicates also will be shown in the upcoming videos. And remove white space. So let's say there is, let me just close this. Let's say there is a space after this. Okay. Usually a space after a word or a data in a cell is considered as a white space and it is not useful, right? I'll show you what is the issue when there is a space. Okay, I will, let's say I want to uh, see the unique values over here. Okay, there's a formula that we use, unique, to see the unique values in a column or in a data set, right? So when I click on unique, you can see that there are two UPIs because one of the UPIs has a space in it. Okay, so it is considering this as a unique value, and it can be a problematic when you're sorting through the data or filtering the data. So in such cases, what we can do is we can see if there is any unique data which has a white space, and we can trim the white space, and it will see that okay, one cell has white space and it gets trimmed. So that is how you use trim white space. Okay, then there is a group option. You can group a set of data. Okay, and you can, hide them, unhide them. It will be useful when you're doing, certain calculations. And then there are tools. Tools are something more advanced, which I'll be showing you in my upcoming videos. Then we have our quick settings bar where you can see a lot of quick settings. There's zoom, there's formatting for currency, a format percentage, there's numbering format. The same thing that you see over here. It's just a quick setting given over here. Then there is the type of fonts that we can use, the size of the fonts, bold, italic, color of the font, color of the cell. This is borders. What we can do with borders is, let's say if you want to represent data in more aesthetic way, or else let's first remove grid lines. You can put borders and it will be more aesthetic. Let's say there is already grid lines present. Even then the border is highlighted. Border can be changed, with the color and the size and the type, and you can only put borders wherever you want. If you see that only certain type of uh, you know only cells that are dividing, you can put that. Or if you want to put only as a border, let's say I'll put only as a border, outer border with a thick and a different color. Let's say I'll put cyan. So you can see that this data is visualized in a different format right now. Okay. Then we have a merge option. What merge does is it will merge two cells. I can merge two rows or two cells, and when I click on merge, it gets merged. But the other zero has vanished because in a cell there's only one data that can be present, not two datas. See over here, it got merged into one cell. So that is how merge works. Then we have this type of formatting where I can view it to the side or right side or left side or in the middle. Then there's a vertical align. I can do it in the middle or top or bottom. Then text wrapping, which I've already told you, this is text rotation. I can insert a link. So these are all the quick links that are already present in format and insert, data, chart and filter, and again functions. All right. And if you come to the right side, you can also see that there is an option to put your other applications which can be accessed instantly. Let's say if you want to put a note to yourself, right? It is not a note in your sheet, but it is a note. It opens the notes Google application and you can put your notes over here. Okay, you can, or something, you can add a task or you can create a calendar event. Go to add-ons, you can integrate all of those apps from uh, there itself, right? And if you see this, there's a button add sheet. Sheet gets added whenever you click that button. Then there is an all sheet. Let's say there are more than 20-30 sheets. Then you would have to start scrolling your tab over here and in this bottom, or you can directly go to this all sheets button and scroll up and down and you'll be able to see all the sheets over there. So I think I've covered most of the basic functionalities. Coming to few hidden features, most of the people that do not know. One is open explore button. What explore does is you can get instant insights, right? When you select a type of data, you'll be getting charts and formats, and it will suggest you what the data is. Then you can also see there is an edit version. Whenever you do an edit, there that gets documented, and So it does not show you all the edit edited versions. So it will only show you probably every 2 hours or 3 hours or 1 hour, depending on the usage of the sheet. And you can go to a previous version that is there and you can restore to that version. Let's say I restored to this version and I cannot see any uh, data that was put on or any edits that was put on after 2:08 a.m. right? So that is how this works. And you can also see uh, cell edit history, right? So edit history, you will get to see all the edits that were done, unlike the previous restore version where you will be only able to see at a certain save point. Edit history for cell shows you all the edits that were done on that cell, right? And you can, when you right click, you also have all the quick settings, most of the quick settings over here. Then there is comment history. They can comment. These are the comments that I've put recently. You can see all of them. And then we have a share. As I've told you, we can see who has shared with whom. Then you can see the document status over here. You can also use it offline in case if you want to use it as a Excel. But if you're using it as an offline and doing an edit, it will not be visible or it will not be synced to your cloud, and the other people who are editors on your sheet will not be able to view those edits. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about this, please do visit my channel and check out my series on sheets. You'll be able to learn sheets from basics to advanced. And do let me know if you have any issues, or do let me